ACH payment for December of $220,265.
How
We
is
have
it?
the top piece then?
Yeah, I have the top.
Alright. How are we gonna do this?
He's gonna do I'll read the checks, and then you'll just put through the payroll stuff. Ready?
Good to go.
This is AP.
The AP. Do you have the other sheets?
I do.
Should we start off with Injury Victim?
Yes, it does.
Injury Victim 636.14. Joseph Bird is $923.64. Katie Blazik Ahern is $600.89. Kendra Brackett is $487.02. John Bryant is $966.82. Clarence Clement is $1,098.37. Jeffrey Collins is $679.82. Katie Coppola is $127.44.
Hold on 1 second, sorry.
Library, yep.
Evan Crafts is $497.26. Keith Culligan is $698.35. Melissa Sanusi is $512.54. Kiki Dennis Wall is $685.78. Robert Gagnon is $192.31. Jason Gagnon is $124.67. Shayla Durkin is $61.42. Andrew Gray is $510.19. Lily Grodzik, $26.32. Mary Lyons Hall is $169. Kip Kaiser $773.01. Joyce Keegles $530.35. Matthew Kelly is $679.54. Kevin Nealand is $821.29. Timothy Devontae is $664.92. Sarah Parkhurst is $726.82. Wayne Robinson is $946.12. Richard Sawyer is $1,734.72. Thomas S. is $193.93. Christopher Spitaleri, I can say that one, $950.81. Katrina Tennant is $627.22. Trevor Whitby is $510.22. Janice Mears is $779.19. Jeremy Worcester is $463.03. Daphne Ross is $711.27. Jared Wright Ward is $845.44.
We have a grand total of $21,553.63. We have 8.5 hours of overtime in the police department, 12 hours in the fire department, and 2 in highway.
Do we need? Do you guys need?
That's the ACH payment.
Yeah, that's
Oh, you already read it, okay.
And you ready?
Good.
All right, so Affleck is $187.47. Airgas is $18.55. Joseph Bird is $706.76. Katie Blazik Ahern is $44.94. Kendra Brackett $706.76. Brentwood, New Hampshire Common Capital Reserve Fund is $4,800.
Hold on 1 second. Yep, okay, go ahead.
Christopher Spitaleri is $44.94. Karen Clement is $168.81. Jeffrey Collins is $44.94. Ian J. Auto Parts is $23. Eversource is $390.53. Andrew Gray is $706.76. Hartman Oil is $1,661.73. Health Trust Inc. is $27,617.13. Kip Kaiser is $567.92. Joyce Keegles $168.81. Matt Kelly is $44.94. KRT Appraisal $768.75. Roger Landry is $1,136.45.
I don't have that one.
Roger's on the other sheet on the bottom.
He-
He's on that sheet on the bottom half of it. He's the NHS.
Oh, the very bottom?
Yep.
113645.
Yep.
11645.
Alright,
Leaf is $137. Medical Business Services is $685.67. James Misha is $2,000 even. Heather Worski is $1,054.72. Sarah Parkhurst is $398.82. RG Toombs Door is $262.50. Wayne Robinson, $706.76. Summit Supply is $29.73. Juniper's Corporation is $57.19. Valak is $186.45. Verizon Wireless is $111.06. WM Corporate Services is $6,560.08. WB Mason is $82.22. Daphne Moss is $35.54.
So a grand total of $52,116.93.
Three workshops.
And I think this is repeat.
Do you want Rudy's file or?
So I'll take one for Andy. I took his agenda already.
Madam Treasurer.
Weekly report. Previous balance, $6,941,304.55. The deposits this week were $1,135,512.58. Payroll was $21,453.66. Payroll tax was $5,336.83. The AP total was $987,951.93. AP checks, $52,116.93. Payment to Swayze for $220,265. Payment to the co-op for $715,570. The account balance is $62,074.71. The interest year to date is $2,253.02.
Thank you very much.
Make a motion for the minutes?
Do we have a second?
Oh, just one small oversight on the minutes. On the highway budget, it looked like I did not vote in favor. It looked like I didn't vote, but my vote was in favor. I just wanted to highlight.
Oh, okay.
That's all.
Name's not listed here.
Thank you.
Thank you. That
What's the only adjustment?
was the only thing that I noticed.
Okay, so we have a motion
With those
With
amendments?
that
with
amendment.
the amendment, sorry.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Passes 3-0.
Building permits, Wright Builders LLC, 31 Route 107, plumbing for new dwelling. Donna Stevens, 130 Scrabble Road, install roof-mounted solar panels. Margaret Rossi, 13 Sanborn Way, install roof-mounted solar panels. Richard Nichols, 87 South Road, 3-car garage with great room above. And Renee Vaca, 3 Linden Drive, is a new roof.
Cold as it is.
That's all we're done.
We're gonna go over the notes. Home test kits are now being offered from the state. Schools are accepting them to allow symptomatic kiddos to return to school faster. Do you want to allow them for town employees? I say yes.
Yes,
Yes.
Yes.
Do you need a motion?
Yes, please.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
We need to appoint a new representative to serve as the board's representative to the Conservation Commission. I will just assume that.
I'll do that. I can do that.
Don't you think
Oh.
you?
You're on how many committees?
Well, actually, right now, just one.
I thought you were, Andy's on the ZBA, right? Who's on the ZBA?
He and I are both on the ZBA, but
Okay.
that's a 3-year position. So I'll take that.
You want that? Okay, that's fine.
Okay,
Do you need a motion for
Yes,
that?
please.
I'll make a motion.
Second?
all in favor?
Aye.
Christmas and New Year's fall on a Saturday, so the holidays are observed on Friday. Do you want to have a meeting on the 28th? I don't think we're gonna
Karen?
accomplish much.
Is
We
there,
should have all the budgets done by then,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Yeah. So it's up to you whether you wanna have an official meeting or if you just wanna come in and sign the manifest.
I don't have, if there's not a need for a meeting, I don't.
We'll just sign the manifest.
Yeah, man, that's fine, so.
All right, do we want to have a holiday party, or do we want to have a lunch paid by the town for each department like last year? I don't know, I didn't go to any last year.
Last year, we didn't have a regular party because of COVID, so the town just paid for lunch for everyone to have a paid-for lunch in their own departments.
Any thoughts?
I think it's kind of good to have the departments kind of meeting and talking to each other. You know, but that's me, I think at this point,
John?
if they feel comfortable wearing a mask, they can wear a mask, but I like the fact of coming in and having that meeting.
My personal feeling is just the numbers right now, as my wife reminds me on a daily basis, are higher than they were even at the peak of the pandemic. And so, that, I just wanna be respectful of that for folks that,
Well, why don't we put this on hold until next week? Any questions? No?
I'll ask the department heads what their preferences
Yeah,
are
okay,
for
that'd be
their
great.
employees, and so that we can do what the employees feel more comfortable to do.
All right. Documents to sign?
I have no documents.
Hallelujah.
wow.
Nothing?
Okay.
Budgets.
Library's here.
Janice, come on up.
Should we sit here or there?
No, come on up here.
Come on up.
Jim, why don't you put that chair up, please?
Do you want me to move the microphone?
Can I use this one and you can use this
Or
one?
leave it on that?
Oh, no, we have a mic right here.
Okay.
Oh,
Jim, you take this one.
I didn't see you, Liz. You should have her, she's a chair.
Yeah. So, you guys sit here and I'll sit here.
Welcome to the library.
Oh, I should have just sat in that chair. It's John Walker.
I want you to know that your predecessor used to bring us cookies. I think you said this
Did she
before.
make them with the Casey guys?
Brownies.
Brownies.
She did make a good brownie.
You probably wouldn't have mine.
Well, wait a minute, I wish I knew that.
Well, remember this for next year.
I will,
I'll
thank
come in for the brownies. Go ahead, ladies and gentlemen.
So you've all received copies of our memorandum and
Yes.
the budget, and I would like to just open it up to any questions.
Any questions?
Each represents.
I guess my, one question, and I'm not asking for any changes or reevaluation to be made, when, this is more directed at Karen, when we did the analysis of the other towns, did we include any library staff in that analysis?
They were not included in that, no.
Okay,
because
so
they have-
maybe that's something that we can look
Well,
at.
their budget, as you
So-
know, is separate, and they're distinct by RSAs. And whatever you come in with, in the past, we've always approved it.
I'm just saying, it would just be interesting to see what the other towns,
I can add the
We-
data
So-
in, but I'd
so we
like
have
to.
We
information
we
from-
actually did our own assessment, and I have it here,
Well
Okay.
done.
so that you can take a look at it.
We have information from the Seacoast area libraries.
Oh,
Yeah.
good, good.
So,
So there's an actual group of libraries, and we used all of them in searching for the data. And then we sorted by each of the individual positions, director, assistant director, and then the last one is a conglomerate of the assistant librarians.
Okay.
What we had to do with the assistant librarian, because every library has different numbers, was we averaged out what each library assistant is getting paid as an average. And then we averaged our not a perfect comparison.
Sure.
But it's pretty close, and as you can see,
Does Greenland and Newfields not have one, or they just didn't have those numbers?
was that for the,
It says NA for the director, assistant.
correct,
director.
right now, I think they're searching for a new one. So
So
the
they're vacant.
tally that I used did not have that information. And then not every library has an assistant director, so,
Yeah, quite a bit of them, huh?
right.
And then, wow, Newfields looks like they're just perfect, huh? NA across the board, do they have a library or?
Yeah, they do.
Yeah,
They do.
but they may just not have reported, you know, it is a self-reporting,
Oh, okay, I'm like,
So,
wow,
yeah.
all three positions are open.
but it's a document you can find on the state library's website.
What are your recommendations, Liz?
I'm recommending that we pass this budget, considering, you know, the only thing that I think people would have questions on are the salaries, and with this documentation that talks about what other libraries have done.
Can we silence that, please?
Somebody over here.
Sorry. And it was actually disheartening this year to have lost, although we're so happy to have Kiki with us now as our assistant. We did lose our assistant librarian
Right.
because of finances. She ended up working 3 jobs to try to make money to be able to stay with us. So,
That was Heather, right?
yes.
So is Kiki classified as an assistant librarian or assistant director?
She's an assistant director / children's librarian, or
Who's-
youth librarian.
Who's the assistant librarian?
Assistant librarians would be our cataloging librarian, ILL, library loan, and the youth department who assists the youth.
So who's got that job right now?
So that would be Joyce Kegel, Mary Hall, and Katie Capola.
So what'd you do, cause you have a salary range in here, did you just add up all three and just divide by 3, come up with that? or-
Yeah, I just.
Cause I think they're different rates, right?
They are.
Yeah.
That's why I said it's not a perfect, but there was so much data, there's no way to really, you know, perfectly match it up. So that particular one is not an exact.
So if we were to approve the budget as submitted, would that make everybody happy?
It would give me a better chance of keeping my people.
So can we just, in the interest of transparency, just let folks in the audience know what we're looking at? Is that okay?
Oh, sure.
So that the average, for the director position, just so you folks know, that they came up with, is $33.52. And the director position right now is $25.32. The proposal is to, so your proposal is to start at $25.32 and bump it up to $26.82 starting in April. Is that accurate?
But just for
Yes.
transparency, I'm
Yes.
also gonna state that this includes some bigger
Yeah, Portsmouth.
Portsmouth,
Exeter.
Exeter,
Yes.
Stratham, Rye.
Yeah.
It is
starts to
not-
Taper down, yeah,
It's not the same, it would be interesting though to look at the same,
like they did for us.
those same towns.
Cause I think we did 5 or 6 towns.
5 or 6.
Well, we started with 7 and then ended up with 6.
We removed
Strata,
Yeah.
which was the outlier.
Stratus, yeah.
In fact, I think we should have at that time eliminated Fremont, because you have the high and the low, and then you have the true average.
That's a good.
I have no problem with the increase personally.
No, where I was going with that was, we're still well below
Right.
what the,
So the
Next
grand
year-
total increase is 5.4%, correct?
Yes. Next year, I would recommend that you come in with a big number.
when you're not here?
I'm not gonna be here.
So we can find out. Thank you.
I wouldn't recommend that, 'cause I will be here. I will.
A little levity.
Yeah, and I
goes a
wasn't
long
gonna
way.
point out,
Yeah.
I wasn't,
No, I saw that.
no, you're right,
Of
you're
course.
right,
And I know we pulled them out, on
yeah.
ours, we were able
Absolutely.
to pull those out.
I don't see anything that's outlandish here. That's
No.
all. Okay.
Okay.
So how about a motion?
Motion,
Second.
We're all in favor. Thank you so much.
What's
Total
the total
numbers.
number, please?
264,879,73.
Two.
Right.
right? Am I looking at that right?
That's right.
264, 879, 73 for a total overall 5.4% increase.
And that's operating and.
But
That's everything.
That's all. We have to approve what you guys need to approve. So ultimately, we have to do that just to appropriate the funds.
Right.
Cool.
Thank you.
Budget committee is the command room this morning. That's the wrong thing.
It said fire, but is that the same? Oh, okay, great. We're in recess for 5 minutes.
No, you're not. Here they come.
It's so nice to have you here, Carol. You have eyes down the hall that I can't see.
Here she comes.
Is fire here to make the presentation?
Yes.
I'm sorry?
Can I ask Karen a question?
Okay. The chief is gonna be delayed, but Karen has the budget, so we'll go through it.
Karen, can I ask you a question real quickly? Did you find out about tomorrow,
What's tomorrow?
the BudCom, whether we're
Oh, I
doing that?
emailed Michelle and she hasn't written back to me yet. So
Okay.
when I do find out, then I will respond.
Okay, thank you.
There's, their original budget schedule had fire and library on the agenda for tomorrow, and then on the posted agenda, they're not on there. So I wrote to Michelle to confirm whether or not they will address those two budgets or not. So this is the budget as you've already seen from the fire chief on 2 occasions. So this is the cost with the new pay matrix and this wage adjustment for firefighters, and then 4 full-timers at 24 hours.
But this is up $400,000 roughly.
Mr.
Yes.
Chairman, just
Over 300.
so
Do you wanna
something that might be helpful would be to have as full of a board as we have to go through a budget that's this much of an increase, and also he's a first responder. So.
Now, this was gonna be before the committee tomorrow?
Tentatively, but we can push
Okay,
it. That'll be
all
fine.
right. I respect your delay.
I
And
agree
the
with that.
intent for part of this delay is to use 250 in ARPA funds to offset the tax impact. But
That's,
we can.
I mean, I think that's great, but it's a big increase. And
Oh, yeah, okay, so this is gonna be tabled until next week?
So then we'll table ambulance as well?
Yes.
Can I just make a quick pitch?
Sure.
The economic development survey is live on bringittobrentwood.com. If you would do us a huge favor, whether you are for economic development in town, you want to leave it the way it is, you want certain characteristics, specifically the rural character of Brentwood, we would really love to hear from you. 1 per town adult resident, please. And again, bringittobrentwood.com. If you need help filling it out, you can reach out to me or anyone on the committee. The committee's names are all on the website as well. There are hard copies here at Town Hall. There are hard copies at the library. But we would really love your input. We really can't be successful in coming up with a serious plan without town input. So.
And this is phased into, right? So you have one.
We're gonna have,
initial survey.
we will have multiple surveys. This is, thank you. This is the first of a handful of surveys we plan to do over the coming year, give or take.
And a link to the economic development page has been posted on the town's website.
Okay.
Awesome.
Hey, John, when is the next?
Liz,
Oh,
if you're gonna speak, you have to come up here.
oh, sorry.
One of the things I want to bring up too is, just because I've read for the last couple of weeks, is, just so everyone's aware, transparency, Comcast is increasing the rates again. So be prepared. It's effective December 20th, 2020.
9.8%.
Looks like some are going up $5 and then it's incremental, but it's on average about $5.
But us seniors get $2 off, so it's a good deal.
If you ask.
Okay, Liz, you're up. What is your question?
Just a real
What are
quick
your
question,
comments?
when's the next meeting?
It's tomorrow in the Sanborn Room at Town Hall at 6 PM.
The same time as BudCon?
Budcom is at 6:30.
6:30.
Okay, thank you.
I have two memos from Glenn Greenwood about site plan violations for Brentwood fence and Brentwood surplus sales.
Are
So
these,
they're requesting a cease and desist, but we haven't gone out, or we haven't sent Kip out, code enforcement, to verify the violations and send them a letter of violation, so I think we should
Chief, we're gonna
start.
do it,
Oh, if he's here.
next meeting.
Oh, do you wanna not do it for him?
Well, they're here, because we're missing one member, and you were tardy, we're gonna delay you until next week.
It has nothing to do with you being tardy.
No. All right?
What I can take care of, and that's
What's the policy on that, driving them, moving fine?
I'm sorry?
What's the policy on moving them, using it?
It's fine.
I'm missing something, Joe. What are you talking about?
Oh, you weren't part of the conversation.
No, just I was.
Do we wanna do this in non-public? If it might have to do with legal stuff? I'm not sure what the,
Well, actually, there's no action to be taken until we contact legal.
okay.
So these still have to be, since it hasn't
That
been
is,
brought
yeah.
before us, it has to go to legal anyway?
Yeah.
Before we can say, do a cease and desist.
But it's the same, I guess the caveat would be, my personal feeling would be, let's only do something if we're gonna, stand
Well,
on.
we're gonna proceed
Yeah.
one way or the other, right, based on
Oh,
the
and
legal opinion.
we have been, and I know that, I'm just,
Yeah, we just haven't officially done it yet,
Yep.
so.
Well, when we do go into non-public, there isn't a matter of interest that we will discuss.
okay.
Right? Okay, so we'll give these back.
Yeah.
And now we are in recess for a moment until the town administrator returns.
I did do my health officer.
Teacher
I
what?
did do my health officer inspections, and whatever that's worth. And I do a lot.
I was driving, but it makes me feel bad.
That's probably a third. And then I just, to me, the whole situation's weird. Which I wanna do my report, I'll have to notate, here's my concerns. And then it's up to the doctor, which sucks.
Are they involved already?
They want to approve.
No.
We're back on the record.
2 years ago.
Any other comments from the public?
So you're good with this? We'll send Kip out and go through that process?
Yeah, Kip has to go to those instead of that. And have we received anything yet, or are we still waiting within that 30-day timeline from the other ones?
We'll be talking about that in non-public.
Okay.
Any comments from the public? Sir?
Yes. For the record, my name is Skip Murphy, and I am the majority owner of GraniteRock.com. And the reason why I'm here tonight is to make a couple of corrections and setting the record straight, since both I and GraniteRock.com were mentioned at your meeting a couple of weeks ago. But first, I sent in a couple of right-to-know demands earlier today by email. And Karen was nice enough to send me part of it back already. It was much appreciated.
In accordance with 91.1, Mr. Murphy has submitted 2 requests for information.
Yes. One of them, given that John Morgan here said that there was a booklet for the Selectmen of Brentwood, I asked for a copy of that, and that PDF was sent to me. He also made the reference that every single selectman signs the code of conduct part of that. And that first RTK is a demand for those signed copies, if they actually do exist,
There is a signed document that we will provide you, sir.
for each selectman.
So I have, go ahead.
Go ahead.
So I sent you the signed copy of the selectmen's handbook that each selectman signed.
Okay,
We don't have a separate code of conduct policy. We have an ethics policy. I don't know if that's what you're referencing.
well, Mr. Morgan said code of conduct, so that's what I wrote the RTK for, thinking that there would be, you know, handwritten signatures. I just wanted to make sure that what was said was actually the truth. If there is there a separate code of ethics that is also signed by the selectmen?
That's included in the employee handbook, and that is signed by all of the selectmen.
Okay, all right, well, I'll ask for those as well.
Okay.
But that was it, and then the second one has to do with emails to and from selectmen over this past year. That one I did not expect to get an answer back either today or tomorrow. I understand that will probably take a little bit of time.
Yes.
You're probably talking about 1,000 or more.
I'm not sure how long this will take, but I will be in touch with IT and get a time frame. If it will be longer than 5 days, then my response would be within 5 days to give you the time frame in which we can make that available to you.
Yeah, and that's perfectly within the lines of RSA 91A. As I stated in the RTK, electronic form is always better than paper, but if it is paper, so be it.
Okay.
So, to the other things, and thank you very much for jumping on that right away. It is much appreciated. Many towns push it off as much as they can. Let's see, the first thing. Much was made in your meeting a couple of weeks ago that Bob must know who I am. And it was made very clear by Liz McConnell and Letty and Eric Turner and Mr. Morgan that, you know, they made much during that meeting that he and I had to know each other. Well, let me set the record straight. This is the first time I have met you. I've never known you, but I saw from the video that you were under attack, and I thought you did a very good job basically saying, no, I don't know this person who wrote the article. And yes, for the record, I wrote the one, well, I've actually written a number of articles on this over the years, but also I wrote one, and one of my other writers, Anne-Marie Banfield, wrote a post about what happened during that meeting. I also want to make sure that people understand that Bob never sent me any images, any pictures, protestations aside to the contrary, any image to me for which I created the post concerning Letty Bedard with her mask making and then not wearing a mask during the meeting, although I do notice right now that she is wearing a mask. So the intent of that post was to do one thing and not what Liz McConnell, Eric Turner, and John Morgan were trying to insinuate. I was pointing out hypocrisy, period. You can't say one thing and then do the other without that being raised. So, since I wasn't here to correct the record, I am doing so now. That was the only intent and nothing else. Although I do notice there's no scarecrow anymore. So, let's see, what else?
I think he's been dismantled.
Oh, there he is.
We lost Henry somewhere.
Oh, that's too bad. Yeah, I wanted to see what he looked like because I couldn't tell from the picture.
He was pretty good.
He was pretty good.
And it wasn't me who zoomed in, by the way. I guess somebody sent it to me and I put it up. After all, it's a public meeting. Nobody expects any privacy at this time. The other thing I wanted to do is Liz McConnell wanted to make sure that everybody knew what Granite Rock was all about. And she started to read from our About page, but stopped sort of in the middle. And I'd like to continue to read that so that people understand. Granite, the hard igneous rock of which New Hampshire is part of, and Grok is from a science fiction book by Robert Heinlein called Stranger in a Strange Land. Grok in Martian, doesn't translate well to a meeting like this, means to understand fully and deeply. So Granite Rock, we understand politics, a lot of the culture that goes on here, and we've been around since 2006. And We go after a lot of people. We don't care what letter appears after your name. So, what Liz started to say was, we are your feared, fire-breathing, extremist, right-wing, hard-charging, gun-toting, opinionated, outspoken, rabble-rousing, letter-writing, radio microphone stomping, buying ink electrons by the barrel, conservatives and rational libertarians. We take on all progressives, liberals, moderates, squishing Republicans, and fly to the aid of rock-ribbed, freedom-loving, and liberty-seeking folk anywhere. We are those that are striking fear in the hearts of Democrats, progressives in any party, and socialists everywhere in New Hampshire. After all, none of them dare to take us on, mano a mano, in the blogosphere or any other place, in any debate, anywhere. As with the fabled Texas Rangers of old, one mob, one ranger, we're just ordinary schlubs in central New Hampshire versus the whole of the New Hampshire Democrat Progressive Party, no contest. And I wanted to read that because while Liz seemed to be very outraged, I can say that it confirmed the stereotype that many of us have on the right, that Democrats have very little sense of humor and absolutely no sense at all about satire, because this was written with an over-the-top type of meaning and purpose. But I'm glad that you allowed me, Mr. Chair, to read that.
Thank you. Are you done, sir?
Pretty much, unless there are other questions, but I did want to put the record straight on those items.
Okay. Any questions from the board?
Let's get back to it.
No?
No.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Anything else?
Any other comments or opinions, questions from the public? Hearing none, we're going to go
Motion to go
into
into non-public,
non-public.
and it's for employment,
Personnel and legal,
personnel and legal,
91A,
91A, E, and what other?
That's it. Thank you very much for coming, everybody.
Good night.
All in favor? We have to do it.
Motion to,
You can't until you vote.
All right,
motion to.
roll call to enter non-public.
Aye.
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 And, all right, so, we're not coming back out.
No.
So just so the public knows, we're not coming back to public.
Good night, thank you.
Independent living.